Today, we're going to remove foam sticky tape from these things, hopefully without damaging the wall. Alright, welcome back to Advanced Geekery. My name is David Gewirtz, and today we're going to try to get these things off the wall without damaging them. The idea is that I have this awesome 3D printed piece, which I printed on the K2 K2 Plus from Creality, that I want to put here. But to do that, I have to get these guys off the wall. And they're on with foam sticky tape that, if I just pulled straight out, could ruin the wall. So I'm going to try with a variety of tools to get these things off gently. And I'll do the bottom one here with you on camera, and if it works, I'll take the top one off camera. So let me show you what I've got in my array of kit bag. I have blue tape. The blue tape is going to be used to hold this thing while I'm trying to remove the sticky tape. I have a ruler. We'll do this part right now. The ruler is, I'm just going to slide it up here and see if there's any blue sticky tape in the middle, and there is not. So the ruler is done for now. I have clippers, and the clippers go with the unwaxed dental floss, and this is the key to the whole thing. Clippers, unwaxed dental floss. Because the idea is to slide the unwaxed dental floss through here and pull it down vertically, so I'm not pulling away from the wall. I also have two Sharpies, which will not be used as Sharpies, but they will be used to work with the dental floss. I'll show you that in a minute. I borrowed a temperature gauge from the kitchen, and as you can see here, you might not be able to see, but it's about 70 degrees, and I want that to be about 140 degrees. And to get it to 140 degrees, with my wife's permission, I borrowed her hairdryer. And so I'm going to heat this thing up very carefully up to about 140 degrees if I can, and then use the dental floss. So I'm going to get all those things set up and ready, and I'll be back in a minute. This program is sponsored in part by the Advanced Geekery weekly newsletter. Want exclusive access to my latest ZDNet articles, behind-the-scenes updates on my projects, and must-watch YouTube videos curated just for you? How about fascinating reads from around the web and a chance to have your own project spotlighted? It's all in the newsletter. And the best part, subscribing is absolutely free. Don't wait, click the link below to get your weekly issue and make it awesome. Alright, so I'm pulling just a small bit of dental floss out from this little box, and it's even got puller, which I did not realize, so I don't need the clippers. So that's my piece of dental floss. I am going to run it through here before I heat it up, because it's going to take a little while to get it through. It might take quite a while to get it through because it's not attached to anything helpful. Yeah. We need to rethink that part. Hang on. All right, I've also added a piece of wire to my kit bag. You could probably use filament instead. And the idea is I don't want to pull this down because it's really thick, and I want to be able to just get between this and the foam. But I do need something to help guide the dental floss through this space here, because on its own, the dental floss is not making it through that space. So I am going to try to tie the dental floss to it. And give me a minute, I'm going to do that off camera too, because my fingers are, you're just not going to see it right. Alright, so I wound up tying a little square knot to this thing so that I can use this as my sort of fishing tool to hopefully pull the floss through. So let's get that set, and then we're going to see whether or not I can heat it up. So let's just try this corner. Well, that goes through a lot easier. There we go. Let's now see if I can get the dental floss through. Yeah, there we go. That's the dental floss. So that's ready and hanging. And the Sharpie is so that I can, this floss is so narrow that I can wrap it around the floss and kind of give it a pull. I'll do that after I heat it up. All right, so we are starting. We're at 83 degrees. This time I'm going to try it high. All right, I got it to about 130. Let's see if we can make this thing work. Grab this through here. Grab this here. Pull this and pull it straight down. Yep, that did it. Ha ha ha. As you can see, that one's loose. How cool is that? All right, let's do the other 4. Oh, there's one more thing I should do before I do the other 4. That's what the blue tape is for. The blue tape, which I'll put on the top one as well as in between and here. That's so this whole thing doesn't come. If I loosen the gookies on here, I don't want it to fall down. So that's what the blue tape's for. I'm also going to put a little piece of blue tape here, because that's about where I want to put the new picture. I know that, but I won't know that once the thing is down. And I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to fold that one over, which I don't know if you can see, just to make it easy to remove. Okay. Well, that worked surprisingly well. All right, let's try the second one in that corner. Let's pre-fish it. I guess I'll fish it going up like this. Whoops, that's actually in the gook. Come down and over. There we go. All right. It's getting stuck there. Okay, I want to do that. There we go. Yeah, there we are. All right, we're set for that one. Let's heat that up. We're at 80 degrees. All right, we're at 130. Let's move you on you. I guess this time we're just going to pull straight out this way. Ooh. And we actually pulled the tape out with it, hopefully without damaging the wall. Oops. Ah. See? Oops. Sticky tape. Doo-doo-doo. That's 2. All right. Let's do the top one, because that was a little harder to do. Put that through here. Fish it. Now, this way, come on. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do the same thing. We are starting at 73 degrees. Bringing it up to about 130. And trying this again. And it is a little toasty if you touch the metal. Whoops. All right, here we go. Come on. That one did not come loose, and as you can see, it actually broke. It broke the dental floss. So we had one that was easy and one not so much. All right, so I'm going to pause it again, and I'm going to reset my dental floss and try again. Okay, so I've gone ahead and reset. This time I tied it to the Sharpie. I was going to use the 2 Sharpies, but I'm using this piece of wire instead. And it turns out the dental floss ties much easier if you give it a lot more string at the end than what I did, which was I had just a little bit. So let's go back to heating up our corner because our corner has cooled back down to 77 degrees. Let's heat it back up. Now I did this out of order this time. You probably can tell. I should have run this first through it, so I'm going to run it through. And then I will reheat it again to make sure what we're dealing with is what we're trying to deal with. Yeah, come on, down, down, and out. Good. Okay, so we are at still at 105 degrees. Let's heat it up. Now, it's entirely possible that heating up with the dental floss in there is what made the dental floss break so easily, but, you know, one thing at a time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. And we fished out another piece of foam right from behind the thing. So we have one more left to go. Okay, I didn't really want to do this, but I have to say it's kind of satisfying. All right, and 1, 2, 3, magic pull. Come on. That came through. All right, let's see if we can get this thing off of here. Ha 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 ha! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! That is perfect! That is perfect! That is frickin' perfect! Okay, to be honest, I did not expect it to work that well. I really didn't. All right, I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to take this one off camera, and I'll be back in a bit to say something profound to you in a few minutes. Actually, let me show you the back of these. These two are still here. It didn't pull it off of, you can kind of see, it did not pull it off of the unit, the license plate itself. It seems to have just gone straight down through the wall and separated it, but there's not a sign that it was ever there. All right, now I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, here is the second one. And I have to tell you, I had no expectation of this working this well. Not at all. I mean, I thought I would maybe get it off there, and I was hoping I wouldn't make too much of a mess, but this wall is pristine. It's perfect. It's as if they were never there. Now, one thing I will say is the wire, I think, is better than the filament because I was able to curve the wire and hold it flat and use it to sort of fish through. Now, this is single strand wire. It's actually pretty old. It's probably at least a decade old. It just is in my workshop. But because I could curve it and make it into kind of a hook, I could sort of hook it around and pull. So as you can see, this will go up here and it's going to look great. So for Advanced Geekery, my name is David Goertz. Go off and go out, go unstick sticky stuff safely without ruining your walls. Science brought to you by Advanced Geekery. Have a great day. Okay, so I'm back in my little corner here, and I wanted to share some thoughts that I had before we close out this video. As you can see, it's awesome. But I want you to just know that I can't guarantee this is going to work for you. I don't know what it will do to your wall. These sticky things, when I put them up, they were just sticky things I had in my workshop. I, at this point, have no idea what brand they are. They're a little weird because if you look at them, they're sort of gray with sort of this weird, sort of almost papery look on top of them. So I have no idea what they are. They're just here, you know, and I have all sorts of parts and tools and all that kind of stuff. So there's no guarantee that if you follow this set of steps, it's going to work for you. But my guess is it's probably going to work better than if you didn't try it. So, but, you know, I can't guarantee that if you put... One of the things I'm basically saying is don't assume that if this works to take them off, you should use these kinds of things to put them up on your wall. That probably wasn't a really good strategic choice. Maybe something like command strips or something like that would be a better choice because they're meant to be pulled off. As opposed to these things, which I just slapped up one day because I wanted to slap them up on my wall and get it done. So just, you know, be careful. And don't assume that these little foam sticky things can be removed, because they might not be. The paint could be different, the age of the paint could be different, the wall, the location you're in, the amount of humidity in your place, how long they've been there. I mean, there's hundreds of factors that could change the performance of this little gimmick that, that I use to pull these things off. But it's still cool and it's still a technique. So go ahead and try it. But just know that this is a one-time example. I don't even know if I did this on something else in the house, it would work. These are the only ones I've put up on the wall this way. And I don't intend to do it again because I kind of regretted it as soon as I started thinking about taking it back down. But there you go. So good luck with it. Definitely try it, because I don't know if there's a better solution. But, and I also don't know if heating, if you heat, these are metal. So I don't know if you're heating, putting the heater on like a poster. I mean, yeah, 140 degrees is not going to set the thing on fire, but it could ruin the poster. It could ruin the paint under your wall. It could bubble the paint on your wall. So, I mean, all of these things are cautions, and all of these things are unknowns. This was not a best practices video. This was how David lucked out into trying to use a little science to make it work, which is about the best I get when it comes to home maintenance. All right, well, with that, have yourself a great day. And for Advanced Geekery, my name is David Gewirtz. Go out there and do something, but probably don't use these sticky things to put things up on the wall, okay? Bye, again. Oh, and this thing's going back to the kitchen before I get in trouble.